Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the new Star Trek Kre-O Transporter Trouble Set. Upon seeing the new Kre-O sets of Star Trek, this one right here really jumped out to me because it just looked like it was so much fun. The idea of a cool little Kre-O transporter from Star Trek just seemed like a no-brainer to me, so I had to pick this set up to check it out. Now, as you can see, the box actually features some really neat artwork of the Kreons in action on the transporter playset. This particular set includes both Scotty and a random Klingon, which are both represented in the artwork on the front of the packaging. The back of the box shows the actual products within and shows you the cool little action feature with the light tech technology. So upon opening this box, you're going to find a few bags. There are 2 bags full of pieces, as well as the 2 small bags that have the little Kreon minifigures in them. Also along with this is 1 sheet of decals that you will need to apply, and a booklet of instructions that will use pictures to help guide you through the process of putting this whole thing together. Now, this particular set only includes 65 pieces, so it's definitely one of the smaller sets. If you follow the instructions, it's pretty simple to put it together. I will say that the instructions aren't exactly as clear as I'd like them to be, because there were a few times I kind of had to flip back and forth to figure out if I was doing it right, but I don't know, that could just be a user error. For the most part, it was pretty simple to put together, and only took about 10 minutes or so to do it. So once you get it all put together, this is what you end up with. Like I said, it's a very small, very simplistic set. It is only 65 pieces after all, but it is still a fun little set that should make for a cool display piece. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. First, we're going to go ahead and look at the 2 Kreon minifigures that are included. Like I said earlier, we get a Scotty and a random Klingon. The Scotty Kreon figure is wearing his famous red uniform, and he actually includes a little phaser that can be popped into either one of his hands there. And then the cool little Klingon figure, definitely representing the new Klingons that are in the new J.J. Abrams movie coming out. You can see that he's wearing a helmet over his head, and unfortunately the helmet is not removable. It's part of the head sculpt, so we can't tell what the Klingons actually look like under the helmet just yet. Hopefully they look like the old Klingons, but that's just me. One thing that I think is really neat is on his shirt there, you can actually see the little Klingon emblem, and he also includes a batleth, a classic Klingon weapon. Now, the little transporter playset itself is pretty neat because it's dual-sided. One side here features the inside of the transporter pad on the Enterprise. You can see that there are some little stickers on the inside there. They're very dark, but they're supposed to represent kind of the control panels and stuff that are on the inside of the Enterprise there. It's actually a pretty simplistic design otherwise. You can see it's mostly just kind of a combination of grays and whites and this kind of maroon red that's on there, so it's not too over-detailed or anything like that. There's a little blue clear circular piece up there on the top, which is supposed to be your transporter pad. That's where you can stand a Kreon minifigure. And then behind him, you'll kind of notice this little plastic curved piece that has a little bit of kind of like the speckle worked into it there. That little shield is actually what's going to help represent the transportation in the little action feature. So let me show you how that works real quick. If you stand your little Kreon minifigure on the little blue pad there, you will notice that there's this little red lever down in the front. If you push the lever forward, it rotates the figure to the outside, and it activates the little blue LED light tech feature that is inside one of the Kre-O bricks. It's actually a pretty neat little feature. As you can see, all you do is kind of rock that little lever back and forth, and it kind of spins the Kreon figure back and forth. It's supposed to look as if he's transporting down to the planet, because the other side of this playset is detailed to look like a planet scene. You can see there's some little stickers on there that show kind of a mountain terrain and everything, like he's down on a planet. Now, the little blue light that's in there is pretty neat, and it is quite bright, but you'll notice that it doesn't really have much of an effect if it's too bright in the room that you're using it. If you kind of dim down the lights, it really does have a cool effect. You can see the way that the blue LED light kind of bounces off that little clear piece of plastic there, and just has a really neat little effect for transporting your Kreons down to the planet. So, definitely a fun little feature there. So once we get him transported, we're now down on the planet where he meets an angry Klingon and he's ready for battle. I do think that's a really neat idea for a little Kre-O set. The fact that it's dual-sided and it's fun just to kind of pretend like you're transporting from the Enterprise and down to the planet. And of course, that little area can fit any of your Kreon minifigures, so if you want to pretend like the Klingon is about to beam away or get beamed up onto the Enterprise, you can do that. Kind of a fun little set. So there you go, guys. There's a look at the brand new Star Trek Kre-O Transporter Trouble set. It's very simplistic, only 65 pieces, but it does have a really fun little action feature to it. I think it'll make a great little display piece if you're planning to collect any of the Star Trek Kreon minifigures. Plus you get Scotty and a Klingon with this, which is a really cool little assortment of figures. It's actually one of the fairly cheaper sets, too. I think I picked this up for $11.99 at my local Toys R Us. And these are hitting store shelves right now, so happy hunting! And until next time.